We've covered the horrific effects of the government's war on opioids and how their attempt to stop overdoses has resulted in overdoses increasing exponentially. The CDC just released statistics covering the year 2017 that give us more information on that. Total number of opioid-related deaths rose 8.5% last year, yet deaths from prescription opioids actually fell 2%. And remember how I keep telling everyone to watch out for that word prescription, because if they just say opioids, then it includes illegal opioids like heroin.
Yeah, it's very misleading when they talk about, opioids. Well, what type of opioids? Prescription or just illegal?
Except, get this, heroin-related deaths fell 4%.
4%.
So what's going on here? What's causing that big rise? Well, the category is synthetic opioids other than methadone. Mostly what we're talking about is fentanyl and its analogs. So this puts a lot of the previous statistics into context. From 2010 to 2016, heroin deaths increased 8 times as fast as the number of heroin users. Well, it seems from this new data that the problem isn't heroin, it's heroin laced with fentanyl, or even fentanyl masquerading as heroin. Fentanyl is several times more potent than heroin, and some analogs like carfentanil are thousands of times more potent, so it's easy for users to overdose on it when they think all they're getting is heroin and they just don't understand how strong it is.
Yeah, and that's a problem with the drug war. It creates a huge monopoly for black markets to take over, and there really isn't any self-regulation going on, so then...
Yeah, they don't put labels on it or anything.
Yeah, they don't put labels, obviously.
Meanwhile, far more people continue to be killed by cigarettes and alcohol. For that matter, more people are killed by diabetes and the flu.
Yeah, usually government tends to take something that's very small in deaths, and they exaggerate it to a point where they think, it's a huge epidemic, but if you look at all the other things that are killing people, they're a lot more than the thing that's of concern right now, quote-unquote.
Well, we've also talked about how people overestimate low risks and underestimate high risks, and you talk about, there's this dangerous new chemical that kills, 10 people a year out of 330 million. That's just a blip, and yet they can make this huge scare over it.
Yeah.
Well, according to New York Times health reporter Margot Sanger-Katz, quote, "Unlike heroin, which is derived from poppy plants, fentanyl can be manufactured in a laboratory, and it is often easier to transport because it is more concentrated. Unexpected combinations of those drugs can overwhelm even experienced drug users. While the opioid epidemic was originally concentrated in rural white populations, the death toll is becoming more widespread. The penetration of fentanyl into more heroin markets may explain recent increases in overdose deaths among older urban black Americans. Those who used heroin before the recent changes to the drug supply might be unprepared for the strength of the new mixtures."
That explains it, because when you have a market, like with any market, once you restrict the supply of one commodity, they're just going to use another commodity to substitute it.
Well, yeah, and we've talked about this before as government puts more and more restrictions on prescription opioids. Not only addicts, but also desperate pain sufferers often turn to the black market for relief. But according to Sanger-Katz, quote, "Many of the measures which have passed the House but not reached the Senate floor are focused on reducing medical prescription of opioids. So they're just going to make the problem worse."
What is it? Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results?
Yeah, I think that's also government actions.
Yeah, that's government in general. They just say, it didn't work yesterday. Well, we'll just do it again and see how it works. Kind of reminds me of kind of the movie Dory, where it's kind of like the short-term memory where they can't remember, we passed legislation, a month ago, but let's do it again and see what happens,